Today, we're going to take a journey that stretches from the vastness of the cosmos right down to the intimacy of a single human heart. This is the story of Grishneshwar, a truly radiant pillar of faith that, you'll see, connects them both.
But to even begin to understand it, we've got to ask a question that comes straight out of ancient scripture. What in the world is an infinite pillar of fire?
Well, the ancient Shiva Purana tells us it's this incredible cosmic beacon, a divine light that shows up to prove a really profound truth, that some things are just eternal. They have no beginning and they have no end.
At its heart, this is the story of a Jyotirlinga, a radiant sign of the divine. But, it's also the story of the absolutely unbreakable human faith that it came to symbolize. So, let's dive in. All right, first things first. We need to get our heads around the core concept behind this whole story, the infinite pillar of light. So what does Jyotirlinga even mean? Well, the word itself kind of gives us the answer. In Sanskrit, you have jyoti, which means radiance or light, and linga, which means sign or symbol. Put them together, and a Jyotirlinga is the radiant sign of the almighty Lord Shiva.
The whole origin story kicks off with, well, a cosmic clash of egos. You have the great gods Brahma, the creator, and Vishnu, the preserver, and they're locked in this epic debate over who was the supreme being.
So, to settle the argument and kind of humble him a bit, Shiva manifests as a stamba, an infinite killer of fire that just pierces through all of creation. He basically challenges them, go find its beginning or its end. And guess what? Neither of them could. This whole act perfectly revealed Shiva's true nature as Anadi, without beginning, and Ananta, without end.
And get this. There are 12 sacred sites across the Indian subcontinent where this cosmic light is believed to have literally touched the earth. And that's what created the 12 Jyotirlingas. Now, let's see how this massive cosmic event connects to a deeply, deeply human story.
And this brings us to the legend of Grishna, a really powerful story about just unwavering devotion.
It all starts with a woman named Grishna, who was so devout that every single day she would perform this ritual of creating and immersing 101 clay lingas. But her devotion sparked this terrible jealousy in her own sister, Sudharma, who then did the unthinkable. She killed Grishna's only son. I mean, can you imagine the grief? But here's the incredible part. Grishna's faith never, ever wavered. She continued her worship and she even forgave her sister. Lord Shiva was so moved by this incredible display of faith and compassion that he appeared, brought her son back to life, and promised to stay at that very spot forever.
It's not just about the loss. It's about her response. Despite a pain that would absolutely shatter most people, she remained steadfast, not just in her devotion, but in her capacity to forgive. It's just, wow.
And so, in her honor, the Jyotirlinga at this sacred site came to be known as Grishneshwar, which literally means the Lord of Grishna. Her personal faith became eternally welded to this cosmic power.
But the story of the physical temple, that's just as dramatic. This is really a story of a temple reborn, a true testament to resilience through the ages.
Just look at this timeline. You can see this powerful cycle. The original temple was destroyed, again and again during the medieval period, but its spirit, that was never extinguished. In the 16th century, restoration work was started by Maloji Raje Bahonsle, who was the grandfather of the legendary warrior king Shivaji. And then finally, in the 18th century, the great Maratha queen Ahilya Bai Holkar completely rebuilt the temple into the magnificent structure we see today. It's a real story of Maratha resilience.
So, what's this sacred place actually like today? Let's take a look at its architecture and rituals. What makes it a living heritage?
The temple is a total marvel of Maratha architecture, built from this striking red volcanic stone. It's got this amazing 5-tiered tower, a shikara, that's just covered in intricate carvings of gods and goddesses. And its location is so significant. It's right near the world-famous Ellora caves, which links it to an even more ancient artistic and spiritual history.
The experience of actually being at Grishneshwar is pretty unique. Unlike a lot of other major temples that have these huge, sprawling complexes, this one offers a much more intimate and direct spiritual connection. It really feels like it brings you closer to the divine.
And the rituals here are ancient and just so meaningful. To maintain purity, male devotees have to enter the main sanctum bare-chested. The main form of worship is called abhisheka, which is the ceremonial pouring of offerings like water, milk, and honey over the linga. And during huge festivals like Mahashivaratri, this intimate space just fills with thousands of pilgrims, and the energy is absolutely incredible. So, all of this really brings us to the ultimate significance of Grishneshwar. It's a beacon of faith, and for so many, it's the final destination on a sacred journey.
Why the final destination? Because in the traditional pilgrimage circuit, Grishneshwar is honored as the 12th and final Jyotirlinga. For a devotee, just reaching this place signifies the completion of a really profound spiritual quest.
This temple, it's not just some relic of the past. It is a living, breathing testament to spiritual endurance. It's like a bridge that connects ancient legends and history with this unbroken chain of devotion that's still happening today.
It's amazing, really. The story of Grishneshwar spans from the unimaginable scale of a cosmic pillar of light all the way down to the most profound human act there is, personal forgiveness, especially in the face of such an unbearable tragedy.
And that leaves us with one final thought to reflect on. How does a single story about one woman's personal faith, her devotion, and her forgiveness, how does that transform into an everlasting physical symbol of resilience that goes on to inspire millions for centuries?